What if I told you the Raspberry Pi finally got the touchscreen it deserved? Sharper, faster, smarter. This is the all-new Raspberry Pi Display 2. And today we're not just unboxing it, setting it up with the Pi 5, and comparing it to the old one. So if you're into Pi projects, smart dashboards, or just love building cool stuff, this one's for you. Before we dive in, a quick note. We ordered this unit from thingbits.in and the delivery was smooth. The packaging was solid and the display box arrived in perfect condition with no damage. Oh, and surprise, they also included a little freebie, a multi-purpose PCB ruler and engineering measuring tool. I might not really need it right now, but hey, who doesn't love free gear, right? Also, just to be clear, this isn't a sponsored video. We purchased this display ourselves so we could test it, use it, and share an honest hands-on experience with you. All right, let's now open up the main product packaging and see what we've got inside. Right on top, we have the 7-inch touchscreen panel, and honestly, it already feels more refined than the original one. The front glass looks cleaner, the bezels are sleeker, and there's a nice matte finish that should help cut down on reflections. This version bumps the resolution up to 1280 by 720. That's HD, so everything from text to UI elements will look way sharper compared to the older display. Next up, we've got two DSI ribbon cables. One is the standard 15-pin for older Pi models like the Pi 3 and 4, and the other is a 22-pin to 15-pin cable, which is made specifically for the Raspberry Pi 5. You'll also find a GPIO power cable, which is really handy. It means you can power the display directly from your Pi's GPIO header. No external power adapter needed. And finally, you get the mounting hardware, a set of screws and spacers to secure the display to a frame or case. That's everything in the box. Simple, well thought out, and ready for your next Raspberry Pi project. Let's take a moment to break down what's actually new in the Raspberry Pi Display 2 and how it compares to the original 7-inch touchscreen. At first glance, both displays look pretty similar, same 7-inch size, similar layout. But once you look closer, the upgrades in Display 2 are impossible to miss. First up, resolution. The original display gave us an 800 by 480 pixel screen, but with Display 2, you now get a much sharper 720 by 1280 resolution. That's nearly double the pixel count, and trust me, you'll feel it instantly in text clarity, UI smoothness, and just overall sharpness. Next, touch responsiveness. Now, here's something interesting. The older display already supported up to 10-finger capacitive touch, which was quite advanced for its time. But Display 2 continues with a refined 5-finger multi-touch implementation, and it's noticeably smoother and more responsive. The gestures feel more natural and fluid, especially when paired with the updated hardware. Third, software experience. With the older model, setup could sometimes be tricky, needing driver tweaks or command line steps, but Display 2? It's fully plug-and-play with Raspberry Pi OS. No installations, no tweaks, just connect and go. The on-screen keyboard even pops up automatically when needed. Fourth, connectivity. And this is where Display 2 really improves. You now need just two simple connections, a DSI ribbon cable and a power cable to the GPIO header. That's it. Compare that to the original display, which needed a DSI cable plus two jumper wires for power and backlight. It was messy and easy to get wrong. With Display 2, it's plug and play, safer, and much cleaner, especially with the included GPIO power cable and longer ribbon that fits perfectly with the Pi 5. Less clutter, more reliability. All right, now let's get hands-on and talk about the physical design and features of the Raspberry Pi Display 2. The first thing you'll notice, it's still a 7-inch display, but it feels more refined overall. The bezels are slightly slimmer, the layout is cleaner, and it has a more polished, modern look. The display measures about 189 by 120 millimeters, and the active screen area is 155 by 88 millimeters. It uses a TFT panel with an anti-glare surface, which is a big improvement for readability under bright lights. Now, flipping to the back side, there's a neatly arranged integrated control board. You'll find the DSI ribbon connector, clearly labeled and positioned for easy alignment with your Raspberry Pi. There's also a power connector header where the included GPIO power cable plugs in. You'll also see the mounting holes perfectly aligned to fix your Raspberry Pi directly onto the back of the display, creating a compact, all-in-one unit. These holes are compatible with both older and newer Raspberry Pi models. And if you look closely, the PCB design has been cleaned up, fewer components sticking out, making it safer and more suitable for embedded builds or DIY enclosures. Let's now set up the Raspberry Pi Display 2 with a Raspberry Pi 5. First, we'll place the display face down on a clean, anti-static, anti-slip surface to avoid scratches or electrostatic damage. Now, before we do anything, let's take a moment to look at the back side of the display and understand what's where. Here's the DSI connector. This is where the ribbon cable will go to carry the video signal. This is the GPIO power connector marked J1. It powers the display directly from the Pi's GPIO pins. And right here, this space with pre-marked standoffs is where we'll mount the Raspberry Pi 5. It's designed to fit perfectly, making the setup compact and neat. Before we start assembling, make sure to insert the micro SD card with Raspberry Pi OS into your Pi. It's much easier to do this now rather than after mounting. Time to put all the components together. Step 1. Connect the DSI ribbon cable to the display. Gently open the latch, insert the ribbon cable with metal contacts facing toward you, and close the latch to secure it. Just make sure you don't bend or twist the ribbon cable during this process. It's delicate and improper handling can damage it. Step 2. Connect the GPIO power cable to the display. Make sure the orientation is correct. Double check before pressing it in. Step 3. Place the Raspberry Pi 5 onto the mounting standoffs. Align the screw holes properly and secure it using the provided screws. Be careful not to over-tighten. Step 4. Connect the other end of the DSI ribbon cable to the Raspberry Pi. Locate the DSI port. It's positioned right next to the micro HDMI out port on the Raspberry Pi 5. Important, the port isn't labeled, so take a moment to double check that you're using the correct one. Now, gently lift the black locking tab on the DSI port. Insert the ribbon cable carefully, with the metal contacts facing downward toward the Pi's circuit board. Once it's in place, press the latch back down to secure it. Be sure the ribbon cable sits flat and straight. Avoid bending or forcing it, as this can damage the cable. Final step, connect the GPIO power cable from the display to the Raspberry Pi's GPIO header. This powers the display directly from the Pi, so make sure it's connected properly. On the Pi, connect the red wire, 5V, to pin 2, and the black wire, ground, to pin 6. Viewed from above, with the Ethernet and USB-A ports facing down, these pins are on the top right corner of the GPIO header. Pin 2 is the very top right pin, and pin 6 is the third one down in that same column. Double-check the pin numbers and wire orientation before pressing them in. A wrong connection could damage your Pi or display. And that's it! The physical setup is all done. Everything's connected, secured, and ready to power on. Powering on and testing the display. Before we power it on, let's talk about mounting. I couldn't find a proper case for the Raspberry Pi Display 2, and even though there are 3D printable models available online, I either couldn't get access to a printer or didn't find a good fit. So here's what I'm using: a basic tablet stand that surprisingly works quite well. The display sits securely, and there's even a cutout at the back, allowing the Raspberry Pi to slide in and stay in place. Simple, effective, and a nice temporary solution. Now, let's power everything up. Connect your power supply to the USB-C port on the Raspberry Pi 5, and it should boot right from the microSD card. If all connections are correct, the touchscreen lights up and you'll see the Raspberry Pi OS desktop appear in just a few seconds. The 5-point multi-touch works right out of the box, smooth, responsive, and easy to navigate. You also get an on-screen keyboard, so no external keyboard or mouse is needed. And if things don't work right away, don't worry. Just double-check your DSI and GPIO connections and make sure your Raspberry Pi OS is updated. By default, the Raspberry Pi Display 2 boots up in portrait mode, which is great for vertical dashboards, but not always ideal for desktop use or media viewing. If you prefer a landscape layout, here's how to change it using the desktop interface. No terminal commands needed. Start by clicking the Raspberry Pi icon on the top left corner of the screen. Then go to Preferences, Screen Configuration. In the window that opens, click on Screens at the bottom left corner. You'll see available display outputs, usually labeled as HDMI and DSI, depending on your setup. DSI refers to the Raspberry Pi Display 2, while HDMI is any external monitor you've connected via HDMI. Click on DSI, hover over Orientation. Similarly, if you want to rotate your external monitor, go to Screens and select HDMI and choose Orientation Normal, or whichever direction suits your setup. Once you've made your selection, click Apply and confirm the changes. The screen will flicker briefly and then update to the new orientation. A confirmation prompt will appear. Make sure to click OK to keep the new settings. And that's it. Your display is now in landscape, ready for desktop usage, video. Now that everything's set up and running smoothly in landscape mode, let me show you how I'm actually using the Raspberry Pi Display 2 in my setup. This display is running Home Assistant in kiosk mode, giving me a dedicated smart home control panel right on my desk. I can monitor sensors, control lights, check camera feeds, and even automate routines, all from this compact, responsive touchscreen. The 5-point touch feels smooth and accurate, and the anti-glare coating makes it easy to read even during the day. Thanks to the on-screen keyboard, I don't need a mouse or external keyboard. I can tap through menus, search, and configure directly on screen. That said, the on-screen keyboard does take up quite a bit of space, especially on a 7-inch screen, so it's best for light input and quick taps, not heavy typing. You can quickly hide or unhide it by tapping the keyboard icon in the top right corner of the screen. And if you'd rather turn it off completely, go to Preferences, Raspberry Pi Configuration. In the pop-up window, click the Display tab and under On-Screen Keyboard, select Disabled. And that's a wrap on the Raspberry Pi Display 2, a clean upgrade with better visuals, easier setup, and great touch response. I'm using it with Home Assistant in kiosk mode, and it's working beautifully. This wasn't sponsored. We bought it ourselves, and everything shared is based on real use. If you found this helpful, leave a like, drop a comment, and subscribe for more Raspberry Pi content. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in another Raspberry Pi project very soon. Until then, stay safe and stay connected.